Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Blue, and welcome to this week's Mistpedia Weekly Cup. I will be your host for today. I believe, unfortunately, I'm going to be alone today, however. We had quite a few teams sign up sort of at the last minute, so didn't really have time to go and find a co-caster for tonight. We may have someone jumping in a little bit later on in the tournament, though, but for the time being, it is just going to be me. We do have 7 teams signed up. Again, I do apologize for us starting a little bit behind schedule, but as we did have a bit of an excess of teams, I had to grab a couple admins at the last minute and get those other games set up for their map rotations and everything, but they are set up and they are rolling right now. We are not going to stream the other games that are in the round of 8, but we are going to go into our first game as we move into the in-game cameras itself, which will be between Obeesports and Sharks with Lazers. We are going to be seeing Sharks with Lasers spawning over here on the blue side, and Obeesports will be spawning over here on the red team. The map rotation for this first round, guys, is going to be, we'll start off on Legacy. From there, we will go over to Forest, and then a third map, if necessary, will be played over on the Battle of Kylo. We're going to get started in just a minute, but again, a quick overview of the teams that we are going to be seeing play in today's tournament as we do check them out really quickly. The teams playing today, once again, are going to be Good Fights, as usual, returning champion from last week as they were the first seed coming into this tournament. They did get the bye, and also shoutouts to Genny and Orun, who are helping me admin the other games while we are not actually streaming those so that we can have them play at the same time. Other teams we are going to be having Elusive play. That's going to be Orun's team for today. Aerox and Pugs, which again will be Aerox and Pugs, outplayed by Children. I believe our second place team from last week will be making a return. We're also going to be having Spuddy's Pro Players that has Spuddy Chronic, the 2 German casters, will be playing on that team, as well as Jebro, another English caster as well. And then last but not least, the game we are going to be having on here, which will be Sharks with Lasers, which is somewhat of an up-and-coming North American team, as is Obeesports, another sort of up-and-coming North American team, and we are looking forward to that match, which once again will be played right now. So let's get into the in-game cameras and get ready to get started with that, guys. So again, really quickly, just going over the builds fast over on the red side first. On the team Obeesports, we can see that these guys are going to be running. Let me turn down the music just a little bit. Apologies. There we go. Anyway, over here, Lady's House is going to be playing Necromancer. Fairly standard Necromancer builder. High combi indeed, with 6 runes of Lissa. Scepter with an offhand dagger along with a staff. Karen Emmett with the traits being 30-20, 0-0-20. And then over here, we are going to be seeing Google actually playing Elementalist. Give me one second. Over here, we are going to see Google today playing on Elementalist, actually, with 6 runes of the Scholar, Scepter with an offhand focus, Berserker's Amulet with the traits being 25-30, 10-0-5. Over here, Cisco is going to be playing on Ranger with 6 runes of the Forge, as well as Sword with an offhand dagger, Shortbow with a Karen Amulet, and the traits being 0-0-10, 30-30. Galone, otherwise known as Heck, will be playing with 6 runes of the Soldier, Mace with an offhand focus, as well as a Staff, Cleric's Amulet with the traits being 0-0-10, 30-30, and last but not least over here, Kizos will be playing on Warrior. Fairly standard Hamble here. You guys know that build. He will be playing DPS Hamble, obviously, with the Berserker's Amulet. Now, Sharks with Lasers over here on the blue team. Vylor is going to be playing Spirit Ranger for this team, running again with 6 runes of the Undead. Shortbow, along with Sword and an offhand Torch with a Settler's Amulet, and the traits being 10-0, 30-30-0. Adrancius, if I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, he can correct me. It will be running with 6 runes of the Forge, as well as double pistols here with a Rabbit Amulet, and the traits being 30-10, 0-20-10. So this is actually going to be playing the Good Fight Skirmisher build here as well, bringing that over. We are going to be seeing their Warrior, who just left the game for some reason. There he is now. We are going to be seeing, who is this, Vegito over here on Warrior. Again, actually, this is a bit of a different build. He's running with 6 runes of the Ogre. He's also going to be running with Axe and an offhand shield with a Longbow, Berserker's Amulet, and the traits being 30-0, 10-0, 30. It's interesting, not going to be running with Hambo. Selfie over here will be playing Guardian, pretty standard Guardian build. Again, it's going to be playing the Virtues variants of the Guardian build. And then last but not least, Lord McCabe over here will be playing, I believe, Dagger Pistol Thief. Yep, Dagger Pistol, with a Berserker's Amulet, and the traits being 10-30, 0-0-30. And again, guys, that's enough of the build, so let's get started with our first game of the night here. And as soon as our team's ready up, we will get started with that game. So following this, guys, we will go on to the, that was a lot of burst there. So following this, we will go on to the semifinals. We'll be streaming both semifinals tonight. Which once again, we know the Good Fights will be moving on, but in regards to the other 3 teams we'll be seeing, we do not know who those guys will be, and we'll hopefully find out a little bit later on after we get through these sets. But anyway, guys, we are getting ready to start now. Both teams have readied up. So let's get started with our first game of the night, guys. Alright, so once again, this is going to be Sharks with Lasers spawning over here on the north side of the map in the Ascalonian base, going up against Obeesports spawning over here on the south side of the map in the Char base. So here we go, guys. Gates have opened up. Let's check out the splits. Opening up the map. Let's see where everybody is headed. It looks like we are going to see a 2-3 split coming out from Obeesports. Meanwhile, over here on Sharks with Lasers, they are going to go for, I believe, a 1-3 split, but they have one player in their base. Not sure what's going on with him. So, 1 second. Anyway, guys, as we go back in, we did have that team fight going on now. Both teams are going to get control of their home nodes over here as well. No contention will be had there, so everybody is just contested, or everybody is condensed over here in mid. We are going to have a big old team fight as we would normally come to expect there as well. We do see that Selfie is starting to take a bit of damage here. Obviously, again, we did have the 5th member of Sharks with Lasers seemed AFK. At the start of the game. They're not asking for a reset, so we are going to continue on with that. But anyway, back to the team fight. We already see 2 members of Sharks with Lasers going into the downside, but a nice recovery there, actually, as we saw Lady's House going down over here onto the side of the red team, too. Got him stomped down. That did actually get Lord McCabe up. However, Selfie is still in the downstate again. That is the bunker. They can't afford to lose him, but however, that is going to be lost. And again, without the bunker, they are going to start, this team fight is going to start to snowball against them very quickly indeed. We did see, again, we saw Surveying is stupid going down there, too, along with Lord McCabe. So it looks like this first team fight will more than likely be going into the favor of Obeesports. Will they actually be able to cap it? Not entirely sure. Again, this is Legacy Middle. It's very easy to reinforce that point very quickly indeed if you just have a guy coming off spawn, if you have stagger stomps or for whatever reason. But again, you are just, generally speaking, probably never going to get control of the team fight if you do decide to go down that route. So we're going to have to see how Sharks with Lasers actually decides to handle this if we do end up seeing them put more reinforcements. Vylor will be going down here as well, in addition to Adracius getting stomped out here. So with that, it looks again like we're probably going to be seeing the red team get control of that, and that will set a precedent for the rest of this game, more than likely. Again, as we have seen in past tournaments, more than likely the team that does end up capping Graveyard first often does go on to be the victor. But we're going to have to see again, because we have seen some other teams that, while they did lose the initial mid-fight, they played very well on side points for the rest of the game, and there definitely has been superior examples of that happening on NA and EU as well. And again, this is a new team, Sharks with Lasers, that is. We will have to see how they actually play it, but for the time being, Red Team Obeesports does have a 2-cap along capping both the enemy node actually over at Waterfall along with the Graveyard. They almost have a 3-cap here as well, as they are seeking to get back their home point at the moment. Zack Stark is on the node trying to decapture it, but we do have 3 members of Sharks with Lasers on the point itself contesting, so these guys are going to hold on there for the timing. We did see that back over here as well. Blue team did decapture their home node, so they do actually manage to get control of the other 2 side nodes. Then obviously that'll be a pretty big advantage for them, and they still will be able to come back. But for the time being, we got a 1v1 going on over here at Waterfall between Lady's House as well as Vylor, the Spirit Ranger over here. I think Lady's House might just be able to take an advantage here. Looks like he does have superior control of the fight for the timing, but again, Spirit Rangers are very tanky indeed and may be able to turn a fight around at any given time. But let's go back over here again, see what is going on over here at the quarry, as this fight is looking like it may be nearing its end fairly soon. We can see that it is going to be, we have some guys going down off point actually. Adracius, for instance, they just go down over here. Along with that, we saw Lord McCabe getting stopped a couple seconds ago over here by Cisco, I believe, being played by Oprah at the moment, so we managed to stomp those guys out, take him down, and then back over here on the point itself, we did see Vegito getting taken down here too, and now only Selfie is on the node. Now Selfie again is on a Bunker Guardian, so he's going to be fairly tanky, should be able to keep himself alive for quite a bit of time, but more than likely, again, as this is actually the far point for the blue team, he probably won't be getting any extra support and is just holding this node in contention until his teammates and put some pressure on another point. Unfortunately, it is taking the blue team a bit long to do so, and this is giving Obeesports the time they need to re-rotate over to these other points. Now, obviously, as you can see over here at the Waterfall, there is a lot of pressure starting to come in onto this node. We got 2 guys from the blue team on their way, but red team seems as though they don't really actually want to hold on to this, and this is actually a smart move in my opinion, because again, playing a 3-cap can always be such a risky thing, because if you lose control of the one node, especially if you have multiple people on that node that you've lost to a team fight that happened there, the other team can snowball pretty hard onto additional nodes, really on Legacy here in middle too, just because of the short duration of points. So I think it was a good move there for them to actually pull off that node, just let the blue team recapture, take back control of their home node at the same time as they were getting that, and now fall back over here towards the middle, where they, again, they have the line of defense ready to go. They have their Guardian, or apologies, they have their Spirit Ranger sitting on the node, was ready to take the initial bulk of burst that would have come out there from Sharks with Lasers, and the other guys were either on their way back from Quarry or just hanging out up here safely, ready to re-engage. Now, Lord McCabe did actually end up going down over here, too. Nice burst coming in there from Google once again, running on this Elementalist build here. Very Elementalist indeed, with 25-30, 10-0-5 here. Managed to basically pretty much one-shot Lord McCabe there, knock him out, and put some heavy damage, and he's going to go for that damage once again onto Adracius here. Just watching him again. Look at this. He's going in, putting huge numbers on these guys. Blue team needs to do something about Google here very soon, otherwise, again, this is going to be a very quick team fight that will end up going in Obeesports' favor. But again, just checking up on the scores for those that can't see it, it is currently 233 points for Obeesports with a 2-cap in their favor, and seemingly this mid-fight as well, compared to the blue team only has 86 points with 1 capture point in their favor. Now back to the fight itself, we do see Cisco in the downstate at the moment. They're trying to put damage on it, Sharks Lasers, but again, it's not going to be enough to take them down. We also saw over here that Vegito, along with Adracius, both went down, but they were able to get them back up, I believe, by a Spirit Res that came in there from Vyler. Yeah, Vyler's Spirit did die about 10 seconds ago there, and as such, they did res both those guys back up. They did have one of the members of the red team down. They also have Google down over here, too. They're putting a lot of damage on him. He is going to be popping his Vapor Form, moving away now, trying to get himself within better quarters here, and as well, we did see that Adracius, the engineer over here on Sharks Lasers, getting stomped out, which did lead to, obviously, Google getting himself back up into play over there. So now we're seeing over here, too, that Lord McCabe doing some work because the red team was so focused in the middle point. We saw Lord McCabe making his way over to the quarry, was actually able to decap that, and now that his team is pretty much knocked out once again over there on the graveyard point, he's actually going to fall completely back over here to the quarry and keep a team fight going over there. You can see again that he obviously is going to have to go up against Zach Stark, probably will lose control of the point because of that. Can't really do too much on a node versus a Hambo warrior. It's just really hard to fight on node against him, and as you can see here, just one combo coming out there from Kizos is going to make the difference. They are going to take him out. We're going to see Google coming in here. Not sure if Google will go for a full burst chain. Yeah, we'll just go for some damage over here onto him just to knock him out that much quicker, and very shortly we'll be seeing a red team getting back control of this node. In the meantime, once again, back over here on the waterfall, we did actually see Lady's House, who is being played by, let me see really quickly here. I want to see who this is, so I don't call him Lady's House all night. If I can... Anyway, we'll find out later on. But he did actually go over there, got the decap on the waterfall, stopping blue team point gains once more, and then almost immediately fell back to graveyard again, just playing it safe with the 2-cap strat, and that seems to be working fairly well for them. Blue team again really needs to exercise some other options because they seem to be going for the same thing over and over again here, and it's just not working out too well. You can see that again, we're looking at pretty much the same scenario we saw about 3 to 4 minutes ago here, where after losing a mid-fight, they got themselves back together over there at the waterfall and then just rush as a whole unit back to mid. They need to think about splitting themselves up, trying to go for side caps, and they need to do this quickly again because the lead for the red team is just really quickly starting to move away from them here, and they may get to a point very soon where they may not be able to come back, and it's looking strong at this point for Obeesports to take game 1 if things don't change very soon. But anyway, going back to the mid-fight itself, we just saw Lady's House again getting a nice Connie rotation over here onto Lord McCabe, taking him into the downstate. We did see that over here. Google actually did get a bit too deep into the team fight himself, and he got knocked out. So blue team does have a slight advantage here. We're going to have to see how much they make of it, though, as they continue things on. We did see the Vegito going down over there, actually going to get stomped out, so now tying this fight up once again, back down to a 4v4. We'll bring it up to a 5v4 in favor of Obeesports in just a second after they get their elementals back into the fight. We're also going to see Lord McCabe coming back into this, too, in just a second. Going for some damage over here onto Lady's House. Lady's House not going to be able to get that heal off there. We'll go into the downstate. Lord McCabe now coming in for a stomp, but nice res coming off there onto him with the elimination of Vylor just a couple seconds ago. He managed to get Lady's House back into play with that. He is sitting in a very low state of health, though. Blue team, if they get some burst rolling here, they may be able to take him into the downstate once again, but Lady's House not going to want to really take a risk on that. He'll be falling back up onto the top of the ledge here and keeping himself out of the fight for the time being. So again, guys, our red team at this point really just rocketing ahead. Not entirely sure if Sharks and Lasers is going to be able to come back from this, so we're going to have to see. Again, it looks like at this point it's 2, yeah. We are seeing pretty much GG's being called on map at this point, so I'm pretty confident that round 1 will be going into the favor of Obeesports. They'll be taking this setup 1-0, and will be taking us to our second map, which is going to be on, let me remind myself, which will be on the Forest of Niflheim, actually. So we're going to have to see, again, blue team, again, was trying to make some use of the side points here. I think it's a little bit easier, just personal opinion, to try and use that on the Forest map, as well as, like, Kylo. It is a little bit easier to do side caps on that map than necessarily it is to do it on this map here, so maybe they'll be able to pull that off a little bit better on the next map, but again, congratulations to our red team Obeesports. They're going to be taking round 1 as... and that will put them up 1-0 in this set, 1 game away from moving on to the next round. And eliminating Sharks Lasers from the tournament. Alright guys, so again, good first round. Congratulations to Obeesports. We'll be moving on to our second round in just a second. Or second game, rather. Just to provide a bit of context from the other games as well there, we did see that in Good Fights' server on Mistpedia Arena 2, we saw the game between, I believe it was Spuddy's Pro Players and Outplayed by Children. Outplayed by Children did take the first game in a score of 500 to 80. So looking strong there for Outplayed by Children to move on to the next round and eliminate Spuddy's Pro Players from the tournament. We're going to have to see, though, just if that'll happen once we get an update from that other game. So this second game, again, on the far side of the hill, for those that are new to Guild Wars 2 PvP, as you check things out over here, you can see, as usual, as with all Guild Wars 2 maps, it is a 3 capture point map that, technically speaking, will be untrue on Tuesday, but for now, as with all Guild Wars 2 maps, it is a 3-point conquest map. You can see there being a central point over here at the keep, and 1 point located close to each team's base. Blue team's point is going to be over here at the henge, and as well, red team's point will be over here at the mine. Can get to that point very quickly coming out of base and cap that. And again, as with all Guild Wars 2 maps, there is a secondary objective. There will be bosses spawning here, as well as here on adjacent sides of the map. When those bosses are killed, they will give the team that killed it 25 points, as well as a buff. I believe that it lasts for 1 or 2 minutes. That will increase all statistics by 50 points. But anyway, guys, we are getting started with our second game here, so let's turn to the music once again and go into game 2 between Obeesports and Sharks with Lasers. And as well, before I forget, let me give Obeesports their 1 point here. So let's go, guys. Again, let me open up the map. Check out the splits here. We are going to see... Oh, what is this? Let's go over to Sharks and Lasers' point of view as they are rushing fully into the enemy territory here. Not going to send anyone to mid whatsoever. Going for full burst over here. Primary target on blue team's side is going to be Google over here. Trying to go in and put the DPS on him. Ladies' House as well. Starting to take a lot of damage. Red team definitely did not expect this to come, but they are trying to hold their ground here at the moment. Definitely, as you can see here, Ladies' House very low state of health. Google going to be going down off the point. Little to no chance that they'll be able to get him up, but again, red team is now flying back up here to put support onto this point, but definitely, as we can see over here, Sharks and Lasers going for a bit of an unconventional strategy, obviously, as they send 4 players to the other point. We see over here, Google is still in the down state, will be getting eliminated, as we also saw Ladies' House getting stopped out there just a couple seconds ago, too. So blue team definitely going to make some tracks here now and try to come back into this game. You can see right at the moment, lots of DPS going to be focused over here on his Zack Stark, otherwise known as Kizos here at the moment, as they try to knock him out of play. We can see that Cisco, as well, otherwise known as Oprah over here, starting to get a bit low, too. So blue team, again, just needs to keep the burst rolling in. Nice burst coming in there again from Lord McCabe. We did see Black Powder going down. No one going to go for the stop just as of yet. We also saw that Kizos was taken down there just a couple seconds too. So it looks like Sharks and Lasers with that very unconventional opener is actually going to be able to take the cap over here at the mine. Now we have to see how red team responds, however, because again, back over here at the henge, we still see there's only one person from Sharks and Lasers defending it, and that is Vylor. And Vylor, too, is going to leave the node. He doesn't actually see Google coming into play. He'll obviously have to turn that back right now and go on and go. Google going for his burst takes about 40% of Vylor's health away. Vylor did manage to dodge out of some of the damage there. We're also going to see Glow coming in, so red team is probably going to commit to a big team fight right over here. You can see that Cisco as well as Zack Stark are making their way over there, too, along with some other members of the blue team. But look at this blue team. Blue team has different plans. You can see back over here at the keep, they're actually going to go to try and take away this point as only Ladies' House is defending that. This is actually, again, some very good rotation from Sharks with Lasers. They've caught on to the fact, and this is really good communication here too, because they've caught on to the fact that, hey, their Bunker Guardian Glow is over here at the other node. Instead of rotating all the way over there, let's go for midpoint, as we know that there's not as many tanky people over there, and we should be able to take that point a little bit easier. Now, they have taken a bit of a risk in that, and they are on the time limit here, but it looks like they may just be able to get that point. Red team is going to have to respond with some better rotation here, and that or just winning these fights quicker. Otherwise, they are going to get taken out by this blue team in this matchup now. Again, the current score is heavily in the favor of Sharks with Lasers. It's currently 57 points to 133 points, with very soon seeing Sharks and Lasers holding the 2-cap advantage here. Now, again, we did see Heck making his way over to the mine. We'll obviously be able to keep this fight in a contention. We'll be keeping at least one player from Sharks and Lasers on that node for an extended duration of time. But as you can see, Sharks and Lasers has tanky players for the most part on both of these nodes. We can see that Vegito has actually put himself up on that node too. Again, Warrior with a Zerk element, not necessarily tanky, but just in general, Warriors, regardless of the build they're running, tend to be fairly tanky individuals. And again, look at this. He actually went off the node too. Granted, they did leave their Spirit Ranger behind. Probably a much more better suited player to be sitting on that node. But they had the Warrior coming off here to sort of run interference as these other red team players are trying to get to the point. But again, Google not going to take that so easily, turning the damage right back around over here onto Vegito. But at the same time, not without taking a lot of damage himself. You can see that he was brought down to a very low state of health. He is channeling off Ether Renewal right now. That'll be coming out cooldown in just a second, but he'll be rejoining the fight in just a second. But as these guys from Obeesports are getting the point, you can see that Cisco as well as Glow are both in the down state. So already here, as red team's reinforcements are getting to it, they're already at a disadvantage. They're starting to get a bit of the decap now, and granted, Lord McCabe is in the downstate, but for the majority of this matchup, it's looking like we're going to be seeing Sharks with Lasers at this, taking a serious advantage over here. Ladies House trying to escape from the point now, and as well, we do have some congestion going on over here at mid. Vylor looks like he might actually get taken down in 1v1 over here by Zach Stark. Zach Stark again on Hambo. Definitely going to have superior point control over there, but again, this is still a close one. Keep in mind here too that Vylor does have his ultimate spirit out. If he gets taken down, he will be able to pop the active on that and get himself back up real quick, assuming he is able to obviously pop that, and it does get interrupted. But again, we see more people coming back into here. Specifically, Vegito is on his way back into the middle here. Ladies House going into the downstate here right now as Zach Stark tries going for the res, but he's not going to be able to do that, and he himself will find himself in the downstate here now too, with Vylor going in for a stomp. They are going to knock out here Zach Stark, and very soon Ladies House will get taken down too. So again, Sharks with Lasers definitely winning here, mainly by virtue of the rotations game, but red team really just struggling here to try and find a way around that. We are seeing them possibly getting an advantage over here at the mine, but Sharks Lasers seems to know what they're doing here again, as they will very, very, very quickly retreat back over here to this node. Google has a lot of the pressure going on him at the moment. Did use the FGS bug and actually managed to take down Lord McCabe, and you can see, look, Lord McCabe not only got taken down, but got absolutely eliminated from the downstate there too because of the FGS bug, so nicely played there by Google. But again, Google going to be retreating away from this point as there's not really much chance of contesting it. And you can see here too that just opening up the map again. Look at this. Red team, they just don't know where to go right now. They're scrambled all over the map. You can see that Zach Stark again going to retreat over here to the henge, as we did see Lord McCabe spawning just a couple seconds ago. Good eye on that one, falling back over there, make sure that they don't lose that node and get 3 cap here as well. They're trying to rally themselves over here at the mine point as well, and it looks like they may be able to get it, but again, even in that team fight itself, it looks like blue team has their stuff together. They have managed to break through here right now, though, as Selfie went into the downstate. Getting that stop on a Selfie may be able to turn things around, but Cisco as well has gone out, but considering it is only the warrior here, they should be able to easily get that double res off onto him and continue this fight now in a 3v1 against Vegito here at the moment, and Vegito will be going down. It looks like finally Obeesports will be able to pierce through this now. They're going to get the double cap in just a second, but again, there's also some pressure coming in over here from Sharks and Lasers going onto the henge. They are going to try to take this point away from them now too. We are seeing though that, and finally, for the first time ever that we've seen, it looks like Obeesports may be able to get the proper people needed over to these points to stop the Sharks and Lasers sort of onslaught over here. But again, we still got players coming in. It's still way too early to call. We did see the Thief from Sharks and Lasers going down over here at the henge point. Lord McCabe did end up going down. Zach Stark now going in for a stomp on him, but they are actually going to get that res on him. But here comes Google now with some serious damage bringing into this team fight. Trying to see if anybody got serious, though. Yeah, Lord McCabe, who recently was rezzed up, did get taken down once again. He is trying to keep himself up and alive, but again, Thieves in the downstate, very squishy indeed. Multiple members over here of Sharks and Lasers are now in the downstate, with Lord McCabe getting completely eliminated. Selfie, the Bunker Guardian, is down here as well. This onslaught may not actually go off. This decap may not happen. They may not be able to get the point, and we may be looking at a comeback here for Obeesports. Google again going down. We did see Selfie try to go in for a stomp, but Google himself now will go down there too. Believe we saw Retail or something else take him down. Also seeing Vegito go down here too. Zach Stark going in there. We'll get the stomp on a Selfie, and almost immediately following that, we'll see the stomp going off on a Vegito there as well, raising up multiple members over here on the side of the red team. But Lord McCabe now coming in, did manage to get that bit of a snipe over there off onto Google. Google did have his Vapor Form up and ready to go here, so he is going to be going down in the middle of the point. Red team now has to rally onto him, take him down. Vylor as well is trying to make his way out of here, and actually with Google in there, that may have just given Vylor the opportunity he needed to retreat out of here. But in the meantime, no! Google again coming in there out of nowhere with a snipe, gonna take Vylor down. But again, while all this happened, blue team has really just been stopped in their tracks. You look at it again, red team, who was previously down by almost over 100 points, is now seriously starting to come back. They had a 3 cap there for, I believe, about 20 plus seconds. We are seeing over here now Sharks Lasers taking back the red team home node, but red team will more than likely end up coming back. Blue team, however, is going to try to artificially extend that lead they do have here by going for Spiner Ball. Should be able to take that down because, again, red team is heavily focused over here, but they too are also going to go for the Chieftain. They'll actually eliminate a fraction. They're both going to get at the same time there, so both teams as well are going to get that 50-point stat boost to their statistics now. No one will gain a real advantage of that, but the damage is just going to be a little tad higher because of that. But everybody now on their way to mid. This is starting to look like a much more normal game now, as we are seeing both teams sort of condensing onto mid. Red team, for whatever reason, though, is putting a hefty amount of defense over there onto their home node. Actually had 3 guys there, which will put Obeesports at a serious disadvantage here at the key for the timing until they can get the other red team guys. And you can see over here too, Lord McCabe again doing a nice job, or at least was doing a nice job over here, running interference onto Google, but Google again turned the tables over here onto Lord McCabe, knocking him out over here very quickly with one combo. Google almost going down and turning that into a downstate fight, but just managing to survive there and knocking out the Thief from Sharks and Lasers over here. And it looks like that actually red team has managed to survive the onslaught back in mid, and they're now being forced off that node too, falling back over here to their one and only node they do control. And our red team, Obeesports, is just about 4 points away from coming back into this game now. So blue team again, while they're not out of this yet, as we're very close to the end game here, our red team is looking strong to not only have come back, but possibly even taken this second game here and winning the set in a 2-0, but the game is definitely not over yet, guys. Blue team is still probably has a couple tricks up their sleeve. They're moving all over the map here, and that could either be a very good thing or a very bad thing. Right now, to me, though, from what I can see, and again, there's not much combat going on, so I'm going to open to the big map, but from what I can see, just look at this. Everyone is everywhere. Red team, Obeesports, has spread themselves out extremely heavily just to counter out any of this forward movement that would come into play here from Sharks or Lazers. We did see two guys coming in from Sharks Lasers pushing into the henge, but again, that's only a distraction play over here for Sharks or Lasers to move in the middle. They only have Cisco, Opa rather, the Spirit Ranger sitting in mid, but again, the Spirit Rangers can hold off to a very long amount of time just due to the sheer amount of dodge power they have coming in here. We see two members of Sharks Lasers coming in, and we already see Obeesports on their way to support Cisco. They need to knock out quickly and get the decap, but I'm not sure if that's going to be happening, guys. Again, they've gotten most of their guys in here. Cisco may get eliminated, but as you can see, Obeesports has their bunker guarding here now. They have the illness. They have that serious amount of burst. Cisco does actually get taken out here, but again, we need to see decap happen within the next few seconds. Otherwise, this second game will be going into Obeesports' favor, and appears that is going to be the case, guys. So, GGs have been called. So with that, congratulations to Obeesports. They are going to be taking this set in a 2-0 victory, and they will be moving on to the next round. Sharks Lasers, again, played very well, especially in the second game. Really impressive opener, and until about halfway through the game, they're absolutely dominant control of the map, as we saw there. But unfortunately, they were not able to come through till the end there, and we did see Obeesports making an excellent comeback and taking that game as well. So guys, that is going to be the end of this matchup. I am going to be taking a short few minutes break here. Probably be about 10